My name's Connor Dorney, and this is my story. I've never been good at anything else when I was younger. Finding Jenga was my calling card. How I was able to get all those pieces out with ease, that's how I earned my nickname, Plank. When I was younger, my parents gave me a Jenga for my 5th birthday. It had been passed down from generation to generation, from my grandpa to my father to myself. As soon as I started playing Jenga, my whole world changed. Just everything about the game, the suspense, never knowing what's gonna happen, it's exhilarating. What was it like growing up? It's more of your rags to riches story. We grew up in a bad neighborhood, drugs, violence, gangs, all the same stuff. Jenga was the thing that kept me off the streets. It allowed me to stay away from that, and all the drugs and the violence. Jenga was my drug. Jenga gave me the only high I ever needed. The thrill of the win, the sound of my opponents breaking their towers. There's nothing like it in the world. Jenga didn't really help my social life that much, but that didn't really matter to me. Because at the age of 15, I was invited to the Jenga World Cup as the youngest ever to make it to that level. Being in honor of Harold Kumerson, Becky Weinstein, and many other names like that is just a complete honor, and I was so honored to be in their presence. Following in the footsteps of Becky Weinstein and all of her honor is going to be hard, but I feel that I am up for the challenge. Jenga is love. Jenga is life. I don't really plan on going to college. Through all of my endorsements for all the years, I've made just enough money to survive on my own, and very well. My recent endorsement is with Flintstones gummies, so I'm going to be on all of those bottles. I'm on a very strict training schedule and diet. Only things I'll ever eat nowadays are vegetables and quesadillas, because that's all I ever need. My trainer Philippe is having me lift weights, push-ups all the time, and I've recently gotten into CrossFit, which I found has really helped out the Jenga game. If I had to say there was anything besides Jenga that I like to do, it would probably be finding some nice scented candles, adding to my mineral collection, and just honestly honing my craft at the game of Jenga. That's the best thing I can ever do. My typical Saturday nights are eating alone, just broccoli and quesadillas, and taking a nice bath, listening to show tunes, and hours of Jenga. A little while before the World Series of Jenga, I fell victim to a horrible rollerblading accident. I broke my wrist, which is one of the most important things that I have in this Jenga game. The outcome of that only made me stronger. Using my left hand, my weaker hand, I became ambidextrous in the game of Jenga and only made me even stronger a player. I recently started a foundation known as Bricks for Dicks, where every time I pull out a brick from a Jenga tower, we donate $10 to castration victims in Uganda, the home of Jenga. Jenga has allowed me to travel the world and see things I never thought I would ever see. I visited Mount Everest. I've seen so many koala bears. The strippers in Taiwan, those are some of my favorites. And recently I even got to meet Joseph Gordon-Levitt. and I could not believe that I had finally gotten that chance. The only time I really almost lost it all was back at the South Korean World Cup against Kimchi Bokkeumbap, the last MVP of the World Cup. In an 8-hour long battle, we were going at it. Normally something I love, but this was a dire situation. My palms were sweaty, my knees were weak, my arms were heavy. But I knew I had to power through. At the brink of the 9th hour, I realized that I was not going to be able to finish, and I needed some sort of chance. And that's when it happened. Kimchi sneezed. The tower fell along with him, and I rose to power. Do I ever think I'm going to stop playing Jenga? Definitely not. Only thing that's ever going to stop me from playing the game I love is when you put me 6 feet under the ground. If you want, you can add me on Snapchat at suckmybrick. Also, you can visit my blog at connordorneytheplank.jenga.com. Also, I will be dropping a mixtape soon with an all Jenga percussion section.